So I'm in the shed and I got something semi-exciting to show you. It's extremely exciting for me. Callum was in here before helping me out, and a lot of you have probably been wondering, well, the very first video was you were going to clean the shed out. It's just been a mammoth task, and you've seen videos since, and the bench has just been an absolute mess. Well, I'm kind of glad to say that a fair amount of it has now been cleared. We've still got the back there to do a bit, but I'm going to come in tomorrow with Callum and we're going to continue on and just do another section, but we work bit by bit, we get it done. But today we're going to concentrate on the swing arms. I remember we need 8 of these. 5 of them came out, 3 I had to drill out. So I ordered some material and I got the exact same OD and ID, and I've just got to cut 3 of these out. I could probably get 4 new ones out. I might just be just short. Anyway, we're going to cut them. I'm now going to grind the middles down a little bit more, simply because I can then fit them inside. I could put a grease nipple on top, which already had the threads. They were already designed to have them, and then there'll be room for the grease, and the nipple thread won't then lock it in position, because they actually do stick past the tiniest bit. I have tried to grind the end off a couple, and the spring and the little ball bearing just came straight out, so I don't have a lot of room to play. These ones that are on the bottom are going to have a 45-degree angled grease nipple. The swing arms that are going to go above these ones will have a straight one, because I'll have easy access to get to them. So let's get on with it. So I take the material that I bought and I use a permanent marker to mark the length using an existing steel bushing. Obviously then, one by one, put them into the vice bench and use a grinder to cut them. Turning the material around so that I get a nice, straight, even cut. Then I take each of the bushes, clean them up with a file, take all the burrs off, and for the inside of the bush, I use a drill bit. Okay, we've now got the new bushes cut, and we've still got some of the old ones. And like I said before, I've grinded out a little bit, so I need to grind out a bit more on the older ones, and obviously going to die grind and just cut out a bit of a chamfer on the middle on the new ones. So let's do that. Right, so now that we've got all of the bushings ground down so we can allow a bit of room for the grub screws to be able to put some grease in between them, we can actually put all of this together. We've got the 45-degree angle grub screws, and we've got the straight grub screws. The straight grub screws are going in the top parts of the swing arms, and the 45-degree ones are going on the bottom of the swing arms that hold the suspension. So we put these straight in, and then we can simply check by putting the grub screws in whether they're going to be in the way or whether I need to grind a little bit off the bottoms. I don't have a lot of room at all to play with these straight ones at all, simply because the spring and the ball bearing is right near the bottom. So we simply put them in. So hence, if the groove is deep enough in the bush, then we are good to go. 7 mil. And look at that. The fact that I can move it around is fantastic. Try this one. And I can move it around. Fantastic stuff. That's the 2 straights done. I've already got the other set done. And now we can do the 45-degree ones. You can still see there's a tiny bit of the thread to go. So we need to take that out and we'll grind a tiny bit off the bottom. I can still move the bushing, that's good. Still move the bushing, and that's in pretty well. Let's do this one. And you can still move the bushing. I really just don't want it facing the other way, but we'll get it on underneath and we might just see where it's at. If we needed to, we could always change them over to the straight ones too, but I think it's just easier being underneath.
So you'll remember in the previous episode that we cleaned these up. These are the rear axle adjustment rods. We buffed them back and then we gave them a nice lick of some silver paint. Simply took off the rear bolts that they attached to in the first place, put them in place with the original nuts and washers being Nolux nuts, and then we're using the impact driver with a socket, deep wrench socket, to put them back in. Not too tight as yet, because obviously the chain is still yet to go on. And their main purpose is, as like I said before, is to adjust the tension of the chain. So I'm just nipping it all up to make sure it's all still loose, but all in place, ready for the chain. And these here are the adjustable uprights that'll get used once the body goes back on and the front carrier frame gets reattached, because it goes all the way through the top of the carrier frame, through the body and into these, so that they are nice and sturdy.
Good morning all. It is now Friday. Carl and I are up. It's a beautiful morning. The wife needs these sharpened. One of the daughters needs a couple of screws in the wall. So we're going to do that, have my coffee, and then get back to the quad. Now, I can't do these too tight because then they don't
open and shut.
Yes, it's a fine line between being too tight and just right. Hopefully that's just right.
Now every man shed has got to have, well, in Australia anyway, a Kingswood emblem up somewhere. And because I actually own a Kingswood, which is the green ute you've seen in many of the videos in the background, which will be a future project, this just happened to be one that my grandfather actually had left over. So up on the wall it goes, and as I've said many times before, the bench is such a huge task to tackle. So a bit more of the bench is getting cleared away. There is so much stuff that I've got all over this thing with different size screws, whether they be Phillips, whether they be slot head, with washers, with nuts, other various bolts, just bits and pieces all over the place. So going through it, Callum decided to give me a hand, but of course soon found another project that I never got to, being a little VW Bluetooth speaker bus, but I could never get it fixed in the end, so I thought, you know, I'll never get to it. Rip the guts out and I'll put it back together, and that's something that he gets to play with. But in the meantime, let's get back to the quad.
We finally got a bit more of the bench cleared. We'll show you that later. But we finally want to get the swing arms back on the front. So it's already getting late. I just want to get this done both sides. It should be quick and easy. It's 8 bolts and maybe even get the hubs in. We'll just see. But let's dive into that.
And dive in I did. It was late in the afternoon and I just wanted to get these in. So onto the floor, putting the swing arms into place, putting the bolts through, which went pretty easily, and just tighten them up. They did require a bit of hammering. And then it was on to the top one, getting the first side done. Again, needed to tap the bolts in with a hammer and then put on the nuts. Now I needed a bit more height to make things just a little more comfortable to be able to do the nuts and bolts up to the swing arms. So I grabbed something a bit higher with the wood box that I happen to have, which made things obviously a lot easier. And at some point I just thought something just did not seem right.
It is the other way around.
So I was at this point, I thought, yeah, it was just doing up a little harder than it should have been. So I took it out, turned it around, put it back in place. These are a 13mm bolt with a 14mm nut. Now for all those people who may have done this before as a project, or just know what they're doing, which I clearly don't at this point, I am making a mistake, which I do discover later. But regardless, not knowing you've made a mistake, you're still going away and putting in the nuts and bolts because you think you're doing a great job. Which is exactly what I did. Until I realised, oops, I have put this in upside down. So that means I've got to take it out, spin it around, do it back up. And that's exactly what I did. Undid the nuts and bolts, and then turned it around, and did it all again.
This way.
Yep. The other way. The spring on top. The same as the rear one. I just didn't remember that at the time. So anyway, back in place now. I won't make the same mistake when it comes to time to doing the right hand side of the quad. And the finished product.
We've got the swing arms back on. Now it's time to get the wheel hubs and get the wheels back on. I looked at this yesterday and thought, whoa, that doesn't look right. This is bent. I checked the other one and it is not as bent but slightly twisted. And I looked online and sure enough, these should be straight. So we can turn the compressor on, blow these clean, take these rose joints out and straighten both of these and then get them back onto the quad. Let's do it.
So get on to cleaning the hubs we did, and of course Callum wanted to get in there and help out because he's more excited than anyone on getting this quad project completed. So on with the air compressor, gave him a quick clean off until we get him up on the bench to get him fixed.
Well, as I said, I would eventually show you the finished result. We've got the bench clear, and you don't understand, this is just an absolute miracle for me to have this much bench space cleared. Still got to go through a lot of the screws and so forth just to sort them all out, but we've gotten to this point and now I got to face this last leg just here.
So onto the bench, the nice new clean bench with the wheel hubs. In order to free them all up, we needed to get the actual steering arms off of the hubs so we could straighten these parts up. Out with the WD-40, quick spray into the vise, and then flex those muscles, big boy. And just to get off a bit of a final adjustment, we'll use the hammer.
Well, it's not the greatest, but look, the fact is that it's far straighter than what it was. So let's do the other one and let's get them on. Well, I'm about to start the other one, and I will. And I've also noticed that you can tell that the thread on that rose joint is not straight. So we'll do that while we're at it.
I seriously thought this quad project was going to be a quick and easy one. How wrong could I have been? And there's another one sitting outside. Anyway, this is what happens when you buy something that's not brand new and you have a crazy idea of pulling it apart and cleaning it up. Into the vise, get the hammer out. I really should have heated it up first, but this still did the job. And both ends were bent, so tappity tap tap tap.
Okay, it's certainly better than what it was, that's for sure. And I can actually move the lock nut down onto it, so I can move it up and move back. Anyway, let's get the other hub straightened and let's get them on. Okay, again, a lot straighter than what it was, so let's put it on. And then this going on.
Isn't there washers?
Not on these, no. Okay. We've got the first wheel hub on. Now, because the spot that it bolted onto was so twisted, of course, these are now very much out of alignment. So we will obviously have to loosen up the lock nuts and put it in. Let's do that.
Now remember, I just wanted to clean these up and put them back on. But the more we looked at it, the worse things got.
What happens if I steer the steering wheel now?
Hang on. Let's get one of these. Split pin. And that works, except this is not supposed to move, obviously.
And it doesn't turn that sharp though.
What's going on? Why? Oh, this is frozen in here. That's why it can't turn. This is locked. This is supposed to be free moving. Oh man, see this? This is supposed to spin here and it's not. That's why you couldn't turn the steering before. Oh man.
That one steers. Oh, there's a problem.
Okay, now that we've put all that together, Colin wanted to have a bit of a play. I went to go and try and steer it, and it wouldn't steer. It was locked outside. I forgot about it at the time. This is the problem. Right here, this is a pinion that goes all the way through, and this is supposed to be swiveling around it, but it's not moving. The bushing here is totally stuffed, but we'll worry about that later. But in the meantime, this is locked, which now means we've got to take it all out and free that up. And obviously we'll check the other one while we're at it.
And freeing up was all that it was supposed to be, but after taking it off and getting it up on the bench, this was the hub that just kept on giving.
No, this is bent. Whole pin's bent, look. That's It's supposed to be straight. It's bent.
What is meant to be?
That. It's supposed to be straight, see? Well, we're looking at it. And you can see here, this is straight. The nut at the top is not. It curves away on an angle. So I'm just going to shove this bottom bit in the vise, see if it'll free up first. As you can see, there is a spot for a grease nipple, which has never had one. And then see if we can get this out. This is just around a bit of high tensile wire. By the looks of it, it's just sitting in there. It's not even a proper split pin, so this could take a bit of effort. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Of course it is. You want to ride the quad. It's in. See if we can move this thing at all.
Now I could have sped this part up, but I just wanted you to see that this was not a quick and easy fix. This thing was seized solid. It had not been taken care of with any form of lubrication at all. And the fact that it had just been sitting outside for the time that it had to obviously didn't help. But just so you had an idea, anything can be fixed up, especially when you get the vice bench tightened down and it stops moving.
Sweep that off.
WD-40 might soak down a bit. How tough is it? What?
Starting to move a bit more.
Is that easier?
The more we move it,
More easier it gets.
it's such a way it's easier.
We could get the grinder and grind it a bit.
Why would we grind it? That cuts it off. How are we going to put it on if it's broken? Because you've cut it.
Well,
No. Keep working it. So all we're going to do is keep working it. See, we're getting more and more movement.
yeah. Quad should turn a lot.
Oh, the rust coming out.
Yeah. See. The water's all turning into rusty.
We're going to go all the way around. There we go.
There we go. Done.
Free it up. That's why I couldn't steer, because that was locked.
And there was lots of rust in it. Should we put a bit more WD-40 so it stays?
Well, we still need to take this off.
What? I think.
There we go.
Yeah, this won't long.
Is it locked as well?
Yep. It would move easily. But it's locked.
There we go, look.
Now we're going to have a nice turning quad.
Well, we're going to get this off and try to straighten it up. I'm just going to take it off first. And go, whoops, that's not straight.
That should come up. Oh!
Oof.
That
Wow.
looks like it's bent.
That is bent, that's what I'm saying. You've got to straighten it. You can tell that that is not straight. In fact, that needs to be
This one
rethreaded.
might even
Yep.
not.
And as Callum's just pointed out, same thing.
Locked as well.
Yep.
I can't understand. I can't. It's locked. This is our steering now.
Oh no!
What?
Now it's becoming all weak. That's moved too much. It's straighter, but it's really weak.
Yeah, to make this thing
Cleaner.
swivel the way it should, nice and freely, it obviously needs to be cleaned up quite a bit. So after giving it a quick wipe with the rag just to get the WD-40 off, out came the flap wheel just to clean it off to make it far smoother because the rust was pretty intense. And then, because the thread wasn't so good, it needed to be fixed up. But that actually just made things worse.
Oh no!
What?
Oh dear.
What do we do? What do we do now?
Well, I'm really not going to go and buy another one. And little pinion that, or the bit that goes on top, over where it is, someone's actually welded something on there previous to us. It's made it really thick, as you can see. So this actually allows me a lot of space around it and above it. So I'm going to do something crazy. And I'm going to weld it on. I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but it might. I bought the welder, right? For just such emergencies.
Now we've already clearly established that I am not a welder and I need a lot of practice. But what you're about to witness, I shouldn't have even put it here for you all to see, but it was just a comedy of errors. One thing after the other. And to say I was getting frustrated through this entire process, well, that's just an absolute understatement. Constantly it broke off. Constantly I'd have to re-clean the surface of both ends and try again. Yeah. Frustration was in overload. But you just gotta keep going. Just keep going. Again, constantly cleaning the surfaces and trying again. So for all the welders who are out there, please throw me some tips in the comment area. And now's a good time to have a laugh, but at the same time, please like, please subscribe, and help me out. Like, really, help me out with telling me how I can do this better in the future, because I really do want to get better at this. Look, it's a little crude, I know, but it'll do the job and it'll work. So, get back to threading it now and see how we go. I should probably do the nut as well.
Have you welded it? Have you welded it back on? Have you?
Mm-hmm.
I can't see. Oh, I see it there.
Bit rough, but it'll work.
Yep. And this bit doesn't.
Does it pass? Is it good enough?
This way? Yeah.
Is it good enough? Okay. Thank you, Bobby. Mmm. That's hot water. Ah.
It's
No.
not.
I want cool water. Ah.
It goes hot, then cold.
Got the first hub back in here. We've greased the max out of it. Actually, I showed Callum how the grease dipper works, but because there's absolutely next to no room between the pin
Now it's cold.
and the tube, thank you, there is just not a lot of room, so I should have grinded that off, but it'll help get some in there. So before we put that back in, we're going to
Free this one.
do this one. Now this one here, this one's a lot thinner and this is a lot bigger. So there's been some modifications to it before we had it. The other one is someone's welded something on top to make it thicker, and it's definitely smaller nut, which meant even the thread itself is smaller. So anyway, this one is going to be a lot quicker and easier, and it's straight, but it's seized. So we'll take this out, put it in the vise, see if we can do the same thing as what we did the last one. All over that. And oh, there's
it
tight.
moved.
Yeah, look at that.
It's already
And
free
then
a
there's
little bit.
It gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's shaking.
Okay, let's take this off.
Why I eat.
Watch your head, Bobby. Don't knock your head off. That and that off. Well. The hole is elongated. Probably why they. It's going to drop the other one too. In the meantime, though, Well,
Now,
we can
put it together and let's put it on.
yes, we can put the grease in. We're going to put the grease in.
Raise nipple, put some grease in.
Alright, and you watch the grease come through.
No.
It's coming in.
Yep.
There you go. See? That's how it works. That is done. That's ready to go back in. Yeah. Let's go put the other one back together. Okay. Are you ready? What do we do next? One more. Okay, we've now got everything back down here. We've freed up both the hubs, we've greased them all up, we've fixed them up. So now we can put them back on and get the wheels on. Finally, it is literally taking all day so far to do this. Are you excited? Let's do it. Right, there we go. Couldn't do that before. Now let's put this back in.
Try.
Yeah, well hang on, I haven't got it in yet. Where's the nut?
Does this go in the bin?
Cool. Look at that.
That is so easy. Make it in the air.
Ah.
Look.
When you turn this way, mind you, once the wheel's on, the pressure will come up. Because at the moment it's hitting here. It's hitting there.
Where?
And come around here. See there? The rod is hitting that. That's why that's all like that, because it's been rusted away. And once the wheel's on, it'll lift up a bit.
Yeah.
In fact, go get the wheel.
We're gonna put it on.
You can put a wheel on. Yes, yes. One, put the wheel on.
Which one?
Yep.
That one?
Yep. It's gotta be straight. That's it. Lean on it. Again. That's it. Done. Done.
Ooh.
So at this point, Callum's getting absolutely super excited because it is getting closer and closer to it being completed, even though it's still a little while off yet. The right hand wheel was on and the left hub was now being put on, which meant the left wheel was about to go on. After getting all the rose joints and everything else straightened up, loosened up, fixed up, it was now really starting to come together. Putting a last steering rod in place, getting the nuts and washers organised, putting them on, getting them to a good tension, and making sure we put in the split pins afterwards too to stop them from coming loose meant that the left wheel was not far away from being put on.
Okay, we've got a toe issue. We've got the wheels turning in like this. So we're going to use these adjustment rods to change it and fix it. So we'll do that now.
For those who aren't quite sure what I meant by toe, toe in or toe out, which is the same thing as wheel alignment. The wheels were not straight, and with the steering rods being on rose joints, they're on opposite threads to each end, which means you can turn them one way and turn the wheels out, and turn them the other way, and then it would bring the wheels in. So individually they can be done, but you really should have the steering straight first, which is what I realized afterwards.
We've got to get the handle straight and then get the wheels aligned that way. So I need to readjust that back out, and then we will adjust this one as well. WD-40 button. There's no air left in the can. You know what happens when there's no air in the can?
What?
There's not enough air in the can. So let's put some air in the can. Right, so we don't have a huge amount of air left in the can. Take the top off. Get your air. Move back. As long as the hole in your air is not larger than this and doesn't just go over it, press the air so the air is already forcing, and then push down on it so it's already then adding pressure to the can. And then squeeze down. And now I've just repressurized the can. Obviously don't overdo it. Ready? Watch. Move out the way.
So after not wasting the contents of the WD-40, because that's good stuff, and putting some more air in the can just to repressurize it, it was just finishing off getting the steering as straight as we could. And then it was on to the next part, the brakes.
So that comes in like that, see? Yes. Alright. Stop going. That's supposed to be up. That's that, you see?
Does that stay up?
Okay.
Brakes in themselves are not that hard at all. It was pretty easy to take them apart, put them away, and pretty easy to put them back together. So I did buy some new parts, like some brake pads for the front and for the back. But here we're putting the rear caliper on first. But before we do that, we need to put in the new brake pads. And after opening up the calipers enough, it certainly made it easy enough to do so. Then just putting it in place, reattaching the bolts that held, which was only 2 of, and then tightening them up. Making sure that Callum gets involved so he learns along the way how this all works. And with buying the replacement brake cylinder for the back, it came with a new bolt with 2 dowdy seals. So attaching that, tightening that up, and then reattaching the main spring from the rear brake pedal back to the frame, which did not prove an easy thing to do at all, as you can see.
Can you start it from this bit?
Please like, please subscribe, and share with your friends and family these videos. I really enjoy making them for you, and I would really appreciate if you leave a comment and subscribe. See you on the next one as we continue the rebuild.